Today we're going to make a double gatefold card. So you're going to start off with a piece of card that measures 6 inches by, I'll just double check in my notes, I think it's, 11.5. So you're going to start off with 6 inches by 11.5. We're going to put that in our trimmers. Oh, let me just fasten my glue up. Just refilled my glue bottle. There we go. So on the 11.5 inch side, you're going to put it in, and you're going to put it in at 1 7/8. So you're going to put it in at 1 7/8, and you're going to score. Then you're going to move it along to 3 3/4, and then you're going to score. Now, I'm going to carry on. Normally I spin it round, but I'm going to carry on today. So then you go to 7 3/4, and going to score, and then 9 5/8. So 9 5/8, and score there. Okay. So then you're going to fold the second score line up. Make sure, I'll do that on the ground in a minute, make sure you've got it straight there and there, and then you're going to fold it back on itself. But before we do that, I'll bring in the next strip. So then you want a strip that measures 1.5 by, well, you want 2 of these, sorry, 7 3/4. So you want 2 of these strips, and we can score them the same way, but then when we put them on the card, we put them on slightly different. So that's 7 3/4 by 1.5, and you're going to score that at 3 7/8. So score that 3 7/8, and then 5 3/4, and you need to do that to both. And then you're just going to fold it in half. Make sure, we'll do that now, I can move the trimmer out of the way. So make sure that you get it lined up. So you're going to score that. So you scored it in half, and then just put the one back on itself. Make sure again that you've got it level, and there we go. So make sure that's it. So that's one done, and bring out the other one. So again, fold it in half. Make sure you in half, and then you're going to fold it back on itself again. Make sure that you've got that level top and bottom. Okay, right, so we've got those. In fact, I'll bring those back in. We're then going to put DSP on them. So I'm using a non-directional DSP, and you want 2 pieces that measure, I'll do it quick here rather than looking it up in the book, that measures 3 3/4 by 1 3/8. So you want 2 of those. You want I think that's that. This one measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/8, and then you want one piece that is 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. That goes on the end. So you'll need 2 of each of those pieces. So I'm just going to glue those on to start with. As I say, if you are doing directional paper, you will want to put the direction on the first one so that it's going down, because this will go across the top, you'll see when we get to it. So if it's directional paper, you'll have to worry. I'm using non-directional paper, which makes it dead easy. So I'm just going to put that equal increments all the way round. Make sure I get these 2. So this one is slightly smaller, so make sure you get these the right way, because one's slightly smaller than the other. That fits in the middle bit, and then the larger piece goes on the end. Okay, I'm losing my light. Let's see if it's going to make a difference. Yeah, it does make a difference to me. I need to have the light on so I can see, getting my equal increments right. So that would be going down, and then you're going to turn the other one the other way because the paper needs to go down, so you put the paper on the biggest side first if you've got directional paper. As I say, it doesn't matter because my paper is non-directional. So you can use any DSP you want. Don't forget, again, your smaller piece goes in the middle. And the smaller piece goes in the middle. And then the bigger piece on the outside. Okay. Right, okay, so I've done those two. I'm just put those out of the way and bring back in the main body of the card, the base. So the second score line in, we're bringing up and we're making sure that that is level. Those sides score down. Then you'll come back on itself and make sure it's still even so that it's like that. Then we'll turn it round, do the same, move that out of the way. And you're going to bring it up, make sure that you've got it level top and bottom, and then bring it back on itself. There we go. Okay, so we've got a piece that goes in the middle now, and this measures 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. So we'll just put that in the middle. So, of course, you can, the pieces that I've just put on, you can put card there. So you could actually emboss card. So that would be a way to make it different. And then I've got the pieces. So 4 pieces that measure 5 6/8 by 1 3/4. So you want 4 of those, and we're just going to stick those on. If you wanted to do more, you could stick them on the back as well. Today I'm using some different card. Normally you'll see me using my Stampin' Up card, but I just wanted to check out this card. I've made it before, but making it with different measurements, so I just wanted to make sure that I've got it right before I enlarge this to be a 5 by 7 card. So I just wanted to see what I was doing with this size first. Made it a long time ago, but I don't think I've made a 5 by 7, I don't think so. I'll probably enlarge it and do a 5 by 7. And I was just thinking, the paper that I'm using, I was just thinking of artistically inked paper. I've got some left, and I'm wondering if I've got enough left to make one out of artistically inked paper. As I say, I'm trying not to buy any more DSP, really. I'm trying to use up what I've got. So I'm being very frugal with things. Right, so again, it will fit like this in the envelope, and so the card will need to go in It will be the standard size. I'm just going to see if I can get that in a standard envelope, actually. I'll just bear with me, see if I've got one. Oh, no. I haven't got one to hand, but I'm wondering, because I've made it 6, sometimes I think the standard envelope might be 6 1/8, so it might fit in a standard envelope. I will put that in the description whether it did or not. Okay, so to make it easier for myself, I'm going to put the middle bit on first. So you know I like the What to Say die, always using it. So I've cut Saucy Foam, I've cut out the shadow of the happy birthday. So I'm just going to stick this on first, because it's going to be easier doing it. So Saucy Foam, and then I've cut the happy of the birthday out with gold. I just love this. As you'll see, I use this an awful lot. I don't buy things to just use them for just a little while. I buy things I really like, and then we'll use them over and over and over again. So it's one of my favourite fonts and dies. In fact, I think I'm going to actually stick that up on Dimensionals as well, and I'm going to try and keep that central. So I'm going to, but it will be easier to put this on first before I stick the other pieces on, I'm thinking. So I'm going to stick this on. I think that can go back there, and that'll go there. I'm just thinking about that little space there. I'm going to use the edge bit. So don't forget, you can use all your dimensionals. Okay, so where's my bin? I'm trying to discipline myself to chucking my rubbish straight in the bin. Don't usually have a bin, but because of Christmas you have Heroes tubs. I thought I'll make a Heroes tub my paper bin, so I chuck it straight in the recycle. Right, so I'm going to decide whereabouts is the middle roughly, and then place that down. If I stick anything else on, I'll go for it after I've stuck the other things on. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to line up this piece, so it's the longest bit, and we're going to absolutely line that up with the top and the side. So what I like to do is turn it round the other way, and then I can see exactly where I need to be sticking my glue. So I'm going to stick that round there, so put that so it's absolutely at the top and at the side. So you can always put it down and make sure that you've got it absolutely at the side. Now we want this piece, so I know that that is going to be glued totally, so that's your last rectangle piece. I'm going to put glue on there and bend it, my card, and this is going to go level with the top and right butt up against score line. So I'm going to lift up my score line like you've seen me do. So I've got that penned against there, making sure that it's absolutely at the top. Now you could as well do contrasting colours. I'm not. I've done it all the same. So when it folds, it will fold onto itself like that. But we're going to decorate in a minute. Right, so the other piece, of course, is going to go the opposite way. So we're going to glue this side. So I'm going to turn it over match it to where it's going to go, and I then know that I can put my glue in that vicinity there. And then let's get rid of that glue, don't want that going back on the card. And again, I'm going to have it right on the edge. So if you stand your card up and push it down, so you've got them both going to the bottom, so you know it's level there, and make sure it goes at the side there. Okay, and then again, the last piece we lift up, and we're gonna put the glue there, and then bring this in. So what we're going to do is bring this piece up, so we're going to make sure it's butt against your fold, and by having this folded you won't go over the fold line, and then make sure that you've got it absolutely level with the bottom. You could even stand that up and push it. That'd be another way to do it. So that's how it's looking, and then you just close. You can have it go that way, or you can have it go that way. It's entirely up to you the way you want, but when we've decorated it you will see how it will look when it's closed. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up, I hate these when I've got something I want up and it goes off. Hate that. Right, now I'm going to put, these are, you can use any leaves. So I just happen to have got, I think it's called Forever Fern, is it? Yeah, I just love this set. It's many years old now, and again, I buy things and I use them. I love the details in the leaves. Now, to get that as good as that, you really need your ink pad to not be just inked. And mine was too dry, so unfortunately it has gone a bit heavy on some of them, but you can still see some of the detail. I'm not unhappy about that. So I'm just gonna I did first generation and then second generation to give me some difference. Might actually put the second generation underneath. So I'm just having a look at where I think I'm going to be. In fact, I might even have them coming down. I think I might. So we'll see how I'm going to play there. Okay, let's see. I might like that. And then the other, I'll do the opposite way. So I'll bring those coming up from here. Let's see. Might do it opposite. I'll see how I want it to go as we go along. I might actually fan that out more of a L. Yeah, I like that better. So I play around with things. So I'm actually doing opposite. So what, in fact, I'm going to do this first, I've decided now, because I'm liking what I'm seeing there. And then I might even spin it round, and so I can recreate it better because I can see what I'm doing like that. And I've done the opposite. So I had 2 darks, 1 light. I've got 2 lights, 1 dark, making it a bit different. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Sorry about this spinning round. We're going to go back to that because I'm liking that, and I'm actually going to set those down now. So I'm going to start by my back one. I was having a go at some because I re-inked and it was too much ink, and I was trying to make it not be so inky. So I'm going to pop that out there. And I'll pop this one up here. So there's no wrong way of doing this. Okay, it's how you want to do it. Okay, I might tuck that underneath there. So I did play a bit on there, and I'm going to tuck that under there like that. So I think that's how I'm having my leaves to start with. Then I've got the Artful Amaryllis die, the dies, and I love how detailed the dies are. So I've done those ahead of time, so you didn't have to see me cutting all those out. Now I've done those with Flirty Flamingo. So what I've done here is I have got an old mint macaron, but I have used soft sea foam, and I did consider using soft sea foam on soft sea foam, but you could go for like garden green on soft sea foam. That would look nice. You can do any combination you want. I didn't want it white. That was my aim. So now I'm going to, I decided I didn't want these just plain. I'm going to get in fact, I'll cheat use this. Now, did I bring out my Flirty Flamingo? Of course I didn't, sorry. Okay, we'll get a bit of pink. Oh. I wonder. No, I'm not going to put Pretty in Pink on there. I'm going to put Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo. Down there. Yeah, Flirty Flamingo. Now I've got something that's I'm hoping is gonna be all right. I'm gonna, because I don't want to ruin my ink pad, because I'm not so sure about this what I'm using. I'm going to pretend that's my ink pad so that I don't dirty it. So this is a tip for you if you're unsure and you don't want to dirty your ink pad. You've got a glass mat like me, or you could do this on your blocks. That would be another thing to do. But I just feel if you just go round with a sponge dauber, it just makes them, look, transforms them. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So as I say, I've done it on my glass mat so that I'm not, if my sponge dauber has got some other colour on it, I don't want to spoil my my ink pads. I'm very precious about my ink pads, so anything that I feel is suspect and it's going to be a problem, then I work ways round it. So I just think that's an easy way to do that. So I'm just going to pull in this, get rid of some of that off there. I just love this. So there's plenty of dies that are detailed dies, so you can use anything that you've got, any flowers that you've got, just to make it interesting. I've got what are they called? Pull this in. I've got come on, pop of, is it called pop of petal? Just a punch. I'll get the words out in a minute. The punch. So I've got a punch, and I could have used those really. So just cut 2 of those out and use my Flirty Flamingo and used Flirty Flamingo to stamp on it. So that would be something that I could have done. But you can use what you want, any flowers you've got. I could have used my Cheerful Daisy. That would have been another set that I could use. I think I'm just going to go with 3. So I have made loads, but I'll put them in my stash and can always use them on something else. So there's no wrong way of doing it. If you get a bit more ink on some of the petals more than the others, that's fine. And it makes it visually interesting. So I'm going to put those. So I've got 3 of those. Right, now that I'm a little worried and I forgot to actually get this wet through. So this is only, it's almost drying out, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take some of the ink off the sponge dauber now as much as I can, because I'm going to have Pretty in Pink. Now you saw what I did there, so that I do not spoil my Flirty Flamingo. Well, I don't want to spoil my Pretty in Pink either. So just going to clear that off. And What You Say Dies has got these lovely detailed flowers in there, and so I'm going to come in with my Pretty in Pink. So I've cleaned that, and just to doubly make sure no cross-contamination, although I'm fairly confident that that has cleaned that all up, I am going to stick this in a slightly different place. So just, that's all I've done. Just put the stamp down on my glass mat. Glass mats are really brilliant for, and I'm going to try and be just on the edge of these. Great for doing these things like this. I'm just trying to keep this time just on the very, very tips of this, not much at all. So just very, very hint of colour. So when I buy any colour of ink, as you'll know if you follow me, I just use Stampin' Up inks. I always, when I buy a colour, I will buy the refill of ink straight away, and then you know you've got to have the right re-inker to ink up your stamp pads again. And then years to come down the line, like me, that Mint Macaron's been out of retired. I don't know how long it's been retired now, but I haven't even used, I've just opened the re-inker today. See, it's full. You don't need much to re-ink a pad. That's going to last you a very long time. That'll last me absolutely years. So, because sometimes your ink pads dry out more than other, depending on the weather. But I've not been in that ink pad for a very, very long time, and of course it's it was really quite dried out, really. Not 100% where it's dried and hard and curling, but it wasn't really doing much when I did my ink. Probably if I'd have pressed firmly it would have worked. I think I am going to do 3. I don't know whether I'll use all 3. I'm going to have a look. I might do, but we'll see. So there. There we go. Right, I'm gonna just load this up as much as I can in case I need later on, so I'm absorbing that as much as I can on the dauber in case I decide I've not got enough, and then I know there's loads of ink on there that it will do many more, because your daubers, they pick up so much ink in them that you can go back time and time again and use it without having to ink it up at all, unless you do what I did and take some of your ink off with your chamois. I find them absolutely brilliant. I've had one for many years now. In fact, I did buy 3, and I've only recently opened the second one. I've got another one because they just last and last and last. And I am terrible with mine. I've got a tub that has the vanish powder in, and when the vanish powder's empty, I just make sure all the powder's out, but I pour boiling water on these, and it more or less gets all your dirty ink out, and just leave them to soak and it gets it out. Right, so I also, out of the dies of the Forever Fern, you've got these little leafy foliagey things, and I've cut a load of those out in gold, so we'll see how we go. Right, so I'm now going to kind of position 3 on, I've stuck those down, haven't I? Yeah, I'm going to kind of position 3, and I'm going to put them up on dimensionals. So I've had my dimensionals. Can now move that. That should be safe to move back into that area now. Yeah. What have I done with them? I've only just had them. Honestly, I just don't know where I think. Oh, underneath the Artful Amaryllis. There we go. So I've just stuck these together. I always stick these together with a glue dot. So I've got the small glue dot, and I've just stuck them together with a glue dot, and then I'm just going to put a dimensional, because I want them to stay. In fact, I'll pop it down in the corner there because I'm covering up where the leaf is, and then I'm going to stick one topped in there, and again all I'm doing is putting a dimensional on the back, and I'll just thread that in wherever. Dimensional on the back, and then I'm going to put this one going off to the side. We're just going to tuck it under there, and then I'm going to bring in these pink ones. Now I'm just going to curl them up a bit, so I'll curl them up as much as I can. So I'm going to try and stick them. In fact, I am going to stick these with larger glue dots. So I have some large glue dots that are, I'm going to stick them down because they will, because it's got a hole in the middle, the glue is just going to go through it, so it does really more or less fill it all, but that will give me the opportunity to stick something in the middle, and I'm just going to tuck that in. There we go, another one here. Again, I'm just going to put them in. It's because the middles are out that I'm doing this, and I've got to shape it, so I'll just tuck it up a bit and stick one back there, and then I'll try and remember to do this one. So I'm going to stick this up Can I tuck it in there? I'll see. So no, I'm going to stick it back here. Stick that back here. So I don't want it to go over the side, so I'm being aware of it sticking on the side. Then I am going to put glue on my little bits of gold foliage and gonna tuck them again. I don't want it going over the edge. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that quite in, so there's not much showing there, but I don't want it going over that edge, because when I tuck that in, I don't want that. You probably actually, you would get away with it in, because the envelopes are bigger, but I'd prefer it not to. I'll stick that in. Just hold it down a minute. Just placing them wherever I want, really. I'm going to stick one up there. Okay, I'm going to leave it at 3 so far. I'm going to fill in the middles, but we'll do that in a minute. So I'm going to swap it round now and see if I can recreate what I've just recreated. So I think we had something. I'm going to stick this one coming out the side. So this one came out the side. Think about there-ish. This one was going up. So don't mind if it doesn't go exactly the same. I'm not too worried about that. As you'll hear me quoting many times, things are not identical in nature. So I'm doing it roughly. Of course, this is going to spin round, so it's going to be hanging down, but I'm going to go for the same sort of layout. So I dimensionals sort of want, so let's get dimensional in the middle. So let's get rid of those. So we're going in the corner. So we'll flip it. That's wrong thing. That one I haven't done, so I'll put that on one side. Where's the ones I've done? That's it. And that's one. That was what I was meant to pick up, wasn't I? So that's going to go in the corner roughly there, and put this one up there. I'm going to have that going up, and then find the other one. Yep, there it is. And that's going to go out the side. That's it. So there's it. It's moving that because that's not dry. There, that's fine. And then bring in these, shape them a bit. Let's pull my glue up there. Get my big ones. And I'm just looking to fill in the gaps really. So I'm going to tuck that under there. Remember, I don't want it over the side really. So tucking it in there. And then another one. I'm going to perhaps have that tucked on there. Now it doesn't matter about it going over this. That's okay, because that when it goes over, you've got plenty of space there, so I'm not bothered about that. I take one more, and I didn't quite shape that one up enough, so do remember to give some shape to it. And I think I'm gonna stick that under there. Okay, so completely different to the other side. as I say, I'm not worried about that. And then I'm going to go in and just stick the gold foliage wherever. Make sure that it's sticking. In fact, I'm going to turn this the other way now because I want to be able to see where my gold foliage is going a bit better. To what I fancy. Gonna put some there, I think. And see, I'm wanting a bit up there, not over the top of the edge. Remember, I don't want it over the top of the edge. Happy with that. Though I do feel on this one I'm going to come down a little bit more. I might stick one more on there as well. So this is why now I can go in, because I know I've got plenty left on my dauber, and go in and put some more on. Just bring it up a bit. And one thing, put it on. I want to go a little bit higher with that, and I want to come a little bit lower. So Pretty in Pink, and Pretty in Pink over the top, and there might be a mix of the Flirty Flamingo, maybe, although might not be, because I did take it off quite a bit. So we'll put that one going down there. I think that now, do I or don't I? You see, really, you're not supposed to have even numbers, so let's be obedient to that rule, shall we? So I'm going to make it 5 on each side of the small flowers now. Oh dear, don't start coughing. So I don't want that. I think I want that coming out the bottom. Okay, and one more I feel, so I'll just do this last one. Okay, and then we'll just bend it up, put another one on. I think I'll put that quite a bit in there. That's it. Yeah, like that. Right, I'll rip that off so I know where I've got to. Get rid of that. There. Right, now I have put 3. I could do 4, but I think I'm going to leave the 3 of my gold bits. I'll leave those. I don't need any more of those. Put those on one side. I'm liking that so far. Right, now our centre of our flowers. So I'm going to have a look what I've got that I feel. Ooh, I'm going to be totally different here. I'm going to put green. Where's my where are you? My pokey tool. Where have you disappeared to? I know I've been using it earlier. So there's the top. What have I done with you? Oh, where you gone? you know, as soon as I start filming, I'll find it, no problem. It's just, it's so much easier to have a, oh, that made me jump then, a pokey tool, as it dropped on the floor, to actually fetch your gems off with. Yeah, I found it, a few. Right, so these were the fine sparkling adhesive gems, and I'm just going to put these in the middle there. So they'll go in the middle. Okay, so there, yeah, I like that. Really different. And they, you might not be able to see this on camera, but they're really beautifully and sparkly, so they're sparkling nice for me. Okay, now I don't think there's anything in there that I want. Let's see. Don't want any red. No, don't want that. No, they're too big. Don't know. No, not going to go for them either. No, don't like them. So look what else I've got. Oh, I've got some little pearls. Now, these were in a set. Let's see if they're too small. No, they're too. I don't know whether to go that way, or I've got to have one, two. I've got to have 10 untied. Whatever I've got, I need 10 of. So I'm going to have to, one, no, they're too big. I'm going to risk it. So what were these off? There was a set, so that fits inside it. Yeah, I like that. They were a kit. They were, and in the kit, can't think of the actual name of the kit, might come to me in a bit, but it had a like lunch bag type thing with it, which happens to just fit the mini in, so I keep my mini in it. I'm going to move that one up so get it in there. So they yeah, doing all right. And I'm not very good at sticking. I like to work outside of the box with kits. I've done a lot. If you've seen a lot of my videos, you will see that I do lots of different alternatives when I have kits. So I didn't use, of course, these pearls, so which are coming in now nicely. Come on, turn over. Come on. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I like that. Right. Now, just feel it's very bare there. Do I want to put do I feel I want to go there? Just thinking, it's quite pretty. Just going to look at my original and decide whether I want to. What's it easy? No, I don't know. I just feel as though I want something there. I cannot. So when it closes, you close it either way, whichever way you feel you like the best. And then it'll stand up. You'll be able to see that better when I actually put it on the front of the video. So not decided. Yeah, you see, I just wanted something, and that is it. Okay, so did I do it that way? Did I do it that way? Did it that way, I think. So I'm just going to put that just there, and this just going the other way. Yeah. That frames me happy birthday then. Yes, that's it. That's what I want. So you'll be able to see that more on the front of the video, but I hope you like that. Please, I always reply to comments if you want to send me any comments. If you did like my video, please give me a thumbs up, like my video, and if you could possibly share it, that would be absolutely fantastic. I do appreciate that. It helps me to get out there so that other people might enjoy my videos and what I'm making. As I say, I give you and then you would just write on the back. If you haven't got what I've got, you can have a white base. You could just do this with a white base and then you would have a white background. If you haven't, then just cut yourself a piece and put a verse on, and which I might do anyway, because I've not I might stick myself a bit of DSP on the back and do it smaller. So I will do the same size DSP. So I do 3 7/8 by 5 7/8 for the back, and then I'd cut myself a smaller bit here to actually put a sentiment on, but I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'll let you go. So thank you very much for dropping by. Do stay safe, do stay well. Bye for now.